Hi guys, and welcome to day 17 of Bakemas. I can't believe we are 17 days in. I can't believe I've made 17 videos. I'm still in shock. So today I want to make puff pastry. Now before you guys come for me and be like, isn't that really hard? Yes it is. But Blitz or rough puff pastry is actually pretty easy to make and super delicious. Is it as flaky as puff pastry? No. But is it still flaky and delicious and can be used for so many different recipes? Yes. So we are going to make Blitz puff pastry. It is a little bit of a journey, but oh well, we're gonna do it. All right, you guys, so let's get into making Blitz puff pastry and let's see what this, oh my gosh, I didn't introduce myself. Hi guys, welcome to day 17 of Bakemas. My name is Misha. I am trying to bake 24 days into Christmas. So yeah, that's why it's called Bakemas. I already said what I'm doing, so let's get into the video. Okay, so for the Blitz puff pastry, all you need is a cup of flour, a stick of butter, and cold water. So you want the stick of butter to be as cold as possible. I'm using gloves because I don't want my hands to heat up. I'm using gloves because I don't want my hands to heat up the butter, but we're gonna give this butter a bunch of slices real quick. Once it's all sliced up, we are going to start putting it into the flour and then combining it with our hands. Now, mind you, you do not want this to heat up the butter too much, so you gotta work fast because that's what makes puff pastry work, is the coldness of the butter with the flour. So we are going to start combining, oops, I lost my glove there, and just work it in softly. As we work this in, we are going to add a couple of tablespoons of cold water just to help combine everything. But like I said, you're going to work as quickly as you can to just combine this. I should have used a bigger bowl. This is making a mess. So use a bigger bowl. Don't be like me. I have made this before, and I swear I used the same bowl, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I made a mess then and I am just not remembering. So let's just slowly combine this together. Now that we've gotten it to this stage, we're going to add just a tiny bit of water. Of cold water. And then we're going to keep working it together as quickly as we can. Now that it's all incorporated to a ball, we are going to shove this in the fridge in plastic wrap, or I just put it in a Ziploc bag, and we are going to let it set for 30 minutes before we do 4 more folds. Okay, so 30 minutes in the fridge. Okay, so we're going to lightly, like super lightly flour our workspace. We are going to take out the chilled dough like so, and then we are going to just simply give it a quick roll and fold it just like a few times. I think like 4, and then we're gonna roll, but try not to use too much heat on it. We do not want to melt that butter, so we have to do this as quick as possible. So we are going to just roll, fold, and roll. So I'm gonna do it like this, give it a roll, and then we're going to fold like so, and then give another roll, give it a little squish, and then another roll. And this is what's gonna make those like light fluffy layers, like those buttery layers, this folding process. So we're gonna do this a couple more times like this, give it a fold, turn it this way, and then lightly press and just roll out. Roll. Look at how it's coming together so much better already. Like, look at that. And then on the side, I'll show you all of the layers in a second. So this is our 3rd roll. We have 1 more, and then we're gonna put it back in the fridge for an hour before we use it. Okay, now we are going to do the last one. And as you do this, the dough becomes like softer, obviously, because it is starting to warm. We don't want it to become too soft. Let's just do our last roll. And then we're gonna fold and put back into the fridge for 1 hour before we use. So I'm just gonna roll this out, fold it, and then I'll show you us putting it in the fridge. Look, you can see on the side all the layers. That's going to be so good. It's going to be super buttery and flaky later. Okay, now this fold is just going to be to put it back into the bag. so that way we can put it in there and try to get all the oxygen out. We're going to let this rest for an hour. I'll see you guys back then. Okay, so now that our Blitz puff pastry has had some time to rest, it's been about an hour, we are going to start rolling this out so that way we can bake with it. Now, I like to leave it in the oven overnight, really, for like the best version of it, but an hour still works really good. So we're just going to start rolling this out, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to make with it. So I'm only using half for this recipe, but I wanted to show you guys all the layers in this. I don't know if you can really see them that clearly, but look at all of those buttery layers. That's going to bake up so nicely. Now, Blitz puff pastry could really be used for anything, but I'm just going to make a chocolate pastry because it's something my husband will like, and I'm just going to use chocolate chips. So, how do I want to do this? Do I want to roll it this way or that way? Let's do it this way. Okay. So we're just going to get some chocolate chips, and we are just going to line them up and give it a roll, and then line another roll and give it a roll. So let's do this, and then give this a roll here, like that, and then we're going to do another line of chocolate chips. This is going to be so good. Okay, like that, a little bit nicer, please, like that. Hold up. Get them all nice and straightened out, like so. And then we'll do another line of chocolate chips, so that way it's in between each flaky row, and it's going to be so good. Nothing too fancy. You really could use Blitz puff pastry for anything, though. You can even use it for like breakfast food. It is so good. Okay, now one more little line, and then we are done. And then here's what the pastry is looking like with the chocolates. Okay, I'm gonna make about 4 of these, and then I'm gonna put them on a baking sheet. Make sure that you spread them out. Even though this doesn't have baking soda, it does puff up a little bit, so make sure that it has enough room. Also, I would be lying to you guys if I told you rolling this out doesn't take a little bit of elbow grease. It does take a little bit of work because the puff pastry is cold, so just keep that in mind. If it seems like it's fighting you a little bit, that's normal. That is how it works. Okay, now that we have all 4 on here, we are going to bake 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes, and then we're going to check on them. So one of these unrolled in the oven, but like, look at those flaky layers. Like, it puffed up too. Look at those flaky layers. Like, but this is what they look like. See the chocolate in the middle, all the layers. So let's taste one. Okay, let's try. I don't know if you could see all the layers in there. Flaky, beautiful, crusty, buttery, chocolatey. Oh, so good. Now, if you want more of a sheen, you can add an egg wash. To me, it makes no real difference. But this is delicious. I hope that this encourages you that you can make Blitz puff pastry too, that you don't have to buy store-bought puff pastry. You can make your own beautiful home. Thank you so much for watching. This is day 17, Blitz puff pastry, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.